Ladies and gentlemen, we are here. We've made it to the North Suffolk Sand at last. After last week's absolute shambles with the latitude traffic ruining our plans, we're here and it's a better tide, better conditions. To be honest with you, we couldn't have asked for more. This is perfect. We've got a really nice sized tide tonight. High tide is about 1:15 in the morning. It's now roughly around about, I think low tide was at 5 to 7. I think we're probably pushing towards about 8 o'clock now. As you can probably see, tide is still quite a way out. It's coming over the gullies, it's filling in. This beach has deepened off quite a bit since the last time I was here. And what we're here for tonight? Sole. It's gotta be sole, isn't it? It's perfect. This is the Suffolk Sand. Yes, you got shingle in front of you, but to be honest with you, this is probably one of the best beaches in Suffolk in my eyes. Not just for fishing, just for the actual beach itself. It is absolutely beautiful here. Come here with my family quite a lot. We have days out here, we go swimming, and also at night, it really switches on for the sole. You get the bass as well here. When it gets dark, I'm expecting it to maybe get some fish. I'm not gonna sit here and say we are gonna get loads, because we might not. As you can see, got the big boys out tonight. The Verret, the M4 GT, both with 2-hook flappers on. I am not fishing with earth rigs tonight, mainly because of the slight onshore breeze. Casting into that'll tangle round the lead. We don't really want that. So standard flappers out there with ragworm. We're just gonna plow through tonight, see if we can get some sole from the Suffolk Sand. So Covehithe, where are we? North of the Suffolk coast, just past Southwold, before Lowestoft. Southwold is behind me. To up there, you also go into Lowestoft. You've got Eastern Bavants up there as well. This whole beach up here, Kessingland, that is all up that way. But this beach in itself, oh my word. For sole, I'll tell you something, this is my favorite place to come to try and catch them. It really is. Like I say, once it gets dark, once this tide pushes up here, it's going to cover the sand, it's going to cover the shingle. Don't know how far it's going to come. We might get pushed further back, not quite sure. Hopefully it'll just come to here. Look, you can see the tide line there by the looks of it on the shingle. But with this flood tide going through darkness, in the conditions we got, if we don't get one, I'll be very, very surprised. As you can see in front of me as well, you may see another shelter. That is young Oakley, filming for his channel. 14 years old. I think it's Oakley Sea Fishing. I'll get him on the camera later on tonight, have a little chat. If he gets a sole, I want to get him on camera as well. And if you're not yet following him or subscribing to him, go and follow his channel. He's a member of the Shore Hunter Junior team. He's an amazing little angler. I reckon he's going to get into some tonight as well. But this is first cast. I'm going to give him 20-minute soak times tonight. 20-minute soaks, go through the 20-minute soak times, see if anything comes of it. Like I say, I don't reckon it's really going to kick off until it gets dark, probably in about another hour, probably 2 hours up, 3 hours up. We might get a bass because there is a slight little bit oxygenated water there. You can see it's rolling over the sandbank that's in front of us. That's oxygenating the water. That should get the bass in there feeding. But I'm casting out beyond that, seeing what comes. If we don't get one, I'm going to take up paddle boarding without a paddle. That right hand rod has just slammed round really violently, slacking right off, and it's then tightened up again. I just saw another knock. So we'll sit back, see if we get another knock on it, and if we do, I'm saying it's a schoolie, but that really slammed around, that hammered round, that did. Come on, give me another knock. Just to show me there's something there. There we go, see? I reckon it's a little bass. Might have missed it. No, I don't know. If I've missed that, I'll be very surprised because that slammed right round. But it could be, like I say, a tiny little schoolie. That was a really violent take. And like I say, I think No, I got it. Perfect way, sorry I'm off the camera. Perfect way to kick the night off. To be honest with you, that's not one of the little roach size ones that we've been used to. That's hooked right in the chops. Out. Get that hook out. Oh, he's hooked right in the scissors ears. I think there's going to be a lot of these about tonight. Calm down. Look at that. Perfect little bass. Look at that. That is absolutely beautiful. What a way to kick the session off, first cast. Lovely. As you can see, it's getting darker and that tide is flooding. And I've had bites on both rods. Nothing really too positive, just in a couple of pulls. So this is the second cast. So what we'll do, we'll reel in the left hand one first, which I think might be over that rod. So let's reel this in. Let's see if there's anything on here, which I think there is, judging by the feel of it. Oakley's getting into the little bass, so they are about. I think that is what could be on here, to be honest with you. A little schooly bass. But the tide and weather conditions, like I say, are going perfect for so. I don't think there's anything actually on here. And I have seen some taps on the right hand rod, so once this is in, we'll reel that in as well. What we got? Is there anything there? No, there isn't. That's a shame. Got some weed on this rod as well, so what I'll do is I'll get rid of this weed and then I'll come back to you when I reel in the other rod. Now let's reel in the right hand rod. Like I said, I've seen a couple of taps on here as well. Not quite sure if there's anything on here. I think there's a sandbank out there I'm landing on, because when I reel in, I'm pulling this out and it is plugged, so I reckon it is quite shallow out there, but there is some weight on it. Definitely some weight. I'm saying little tiny bass. Like I say, I haven't seen any real positive slam overs or anything on this. Just gonna go off camera, apologies. Is there a fish? There's some weed. It's a little birdie. Show you that quickly. There we go, look, another little birdie bass. Tiny little thing, however, they are about. And as this light's fading, there's always a chance of what we're after. And we're now in all out soul attack mode. Rods have been lowered, a little bit of weed in the water, so I kept them high to start with while the tide was out, but as the tide's pushing in now, I think it's time to drop these rods and get them baits near the deck, because I'm pretty sure if they're sold out there, they'll be feeding now. The light's going, tide's flooding. It's looking good. It is looking good. I'm pretty sure I've seen some taps on the right hand rod. Tiny little taps. M4 GT, it's got a glass tip. But really, I'd like to be using lighter rods for this. What's that I'd like to? I fancy bringing it out tonight to see if I can get some fish, because it's normally, what a lucky little rod that. The variable shirt bite's absolutely lovely, but the M4 GT, little sole bites, you'll see the taps, but it's not going to slam around or anything like that as much, really. But like I say, I'm pretty certain it's tapped a couple of times, but I'm giving these worms half-hour soak. Probably got dropped down to 20 minutes. Once the fish start turning up and I seem to be getting more bites, I'll drop it down to 20 minutes, but at the minute, they're not being touched. So I think I'm going to leave them out there a little bit longer until it really starts to kick off, because it's still early in the tide. There's not much tide pull there. If that tide was hammering through and the baits were being washed out a bit more quicker, I'd go back to 20 minutes already, but there's no real tide pull at all. Like I say, you've got a little bit of weed, which is manageable. It's very manageable. It's not really causing much of an issue. It's just round the old lead knot as you reel it in. But it's perfect. You've got a slight wisp of, I think it's a southeasterly or a southwesterly. To be honest with you, it feels more just southerly coming in at the minute. Not causing too much of a chop on the water, not pushing the water in too much. And as we've seen so far, with 2 bass, the fish are there. It's just a case of whether these sole here. I've just been speaking to a bloke who walked past. If you watch this, hello, you're a lovely bloke. Chatted away to you for a little while. He sort of wandered up there a little bit, told me he had some quite a few smooth hounds from here recently. Nice to get into one of them. But we're in all-out sole attack mode. Rods are down, baits are out. Let's hope we can get one. It'd be nice if we do. Like I say, this is a renowned beach. South Wold, this, because of the sand, the sole absolutely love it. It's just a case of whether they turn up tonight. Just reeled the left-hand rod in. Didn't see a bite. As I was reeling it in, I thought, that feels heavy. Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you the first one of the night. Look at that, eh? What a beautiful fish. Absolutely beautiful. I knew there'd be here. It's what we came for. I dropped the rods down and I've got one. The cast, I dropped the rods down. Says it all. It really works, dropping those rods down, but look at that. What a beautiful fish. Well, we've had one. What can I say? That is absolutely fantastic. Already, I think that was 3rd or 4th cast. Not really counting, to be honest with you, but that is pretty decent. And it was straight away when I dropped the rod tips down. Keeping your rod tips low, to me, is imperative when you're sole fishing. You're keeping them baits close to the bottom. Them sole, you've probably heard this about, if you're a regular viewer, ignore this part, you'll get annoyed with me keep going on about how to catch sole, but I love sole, they're my favourite species. One of the main things I always say is keep your rod tips low, because the angle of that line going into the water then keeps your baits close to the bottom, which is where the sole feed. They won't normally come up off the bottom and take baits above the bottom. They'll be scooting around and they want them ragworm right on the bottom where they can just get them and chew them. Of course, small hooks. I'm using size 6s again tonight. Very small hooks, but you need them for the sole. You need those to catch the sole because they've got such little mouths. Those small hooks will nail them every time. Small Aberdeen style hooks, perfect. So that's one in the bag. Can we get any more? Who knows? We've got a lot of tide left. It could be very quiet from that one. You never know. These things happen. You get a little flurry of fish, then it goes dead. But we'll see. The rod tips are low, the baits are in the water. Is there any more sole out there? I'm getting bites on both rods. That right-hand rod just slacked. There we go. And again, the right-hand rod's slacking, the left-hand one's banging. I'm going to leave it out for a little while though, because no, I'm not going to leave that left-hand one out because that's pulling around quite nicely. And the right-hand one is as well. Right, let's see if we get another bite on this left rod and we'll reel it in. The right-hand rod, like I say, that's bang round and gone slack. By golly, there's actually some fish out there tonight, which is pretty darn good. So we'll give the left-hand one, see if that goes again. There we go, that's it, there's something there. Let's reel that in. Keep an eye on that right-hand one while I reel this in. Doesn't appear to be any weight on it, which is rather annoying. Dagnammit, I think I missed that, whatever it was. No, I haven't. No, whatever it is still there. It was swimming towards me. Where are you? God. If that's a sole, it's a pretty decent one. There we have it. Bit more of a better one, isn't it? Not a bad little bass that, for a little schoolie. Get this one back. Let's see if that right hand rod goes anymore. Slack liner, right hand rod, the line is on the beach. Look at that. See what we got. This is constant tonight. Wow, that is slack. This tonight is constant. Absolutely constant sport. Loads of bass. One sole so far, but there are so many bass out there. What is it? If I've missed that, I'm going to be absolutely shocked. Because that properly slammed back. Where are you? Doesn't feel like there's anything on there. How on earth did I miss that? That was a proper slack liner. That absolutely, I was talking to Oakley and that just snapped back and that was right on the beach. That is a shame. That is an absolute shame. Whatever that was has got away, but there's plenty out there. This is amazing sport. It really, really is. Just gonna show you what I'm fishing with tonight. Literally simple little 2-hook flappers, one down by the lead, one up a little bit higher, but because I'm keeping these rods low, they're both going to be low by the water, or low by the bottom, sorry. Probably talking 40, 50 yards max. Just simple little overhead thumps. Let it hit the water. And then bring it back. Wow. All I can say is I'm pretty sad that I missed that last one, because that was a decent slack liner. Whatever that was, moved that 5-ounce lead and went right because I lifted into it, and when I reeled in, the line was going right. Didn't get it though. It is what it is. Back in more or less the same place. There's a lot of bass out there, so I'm saying it's probably a bass. Great fun. Absolutely great fun. That right hand rod's just dropped slack again. Oh my word, it hasn't gone as slack as it was in the last slack liner, however it has just dropped slack. See if it does anything else. Oh blimey, roll over. There we go, stay like that. I've seen a few little knocks on it, so there is something playing with the bait, and whatever it is, it's just moved it. Like I say, there's so many little bass out there at the minute though. Absolutely teeming with little bass. Left hand rod has knocked a couple of times as well. It'd be nice to see that rod go again. Whatever it was just smacked the bait, because that just dropped off. Well, like I say, it had rattled a couple of times previously. Is it going to go again though? That is the question. Dun, dun, dun. Go again. Go again. Maybe not. There we go, something there. There is definitely something there. Definitely something hooked. Let's see what we got. I have had, which I haven't put on camera, quite a few more roach-sized bass. Tiny little things. Of course, you don't want to keep seeing roach-sized bass. That's plugged in. There we go, it's out now. And we got some weight-ish. No, we haven't. There might be a little tiny bit of weight there. Probably another little roach-sized bass. There's plenty of them out there. It's there. Two little roach-sized bass. Get this weed off the lead and find that onto the reel. double shot. Roach-sized bass, plenty of them out there. Not the sole we're after, but I'm pretty certain there'll still be some there somewhere. Oh, that right-hand rod keeps going. That right-hand rod keeps banging away. It's pulled around a couple of times quite solidly, and then it's tap, tap, tap a rood. See if it goes one more time, and we'll have it. Left-hand rod's sitting absolutely lovely. If we're gonna see any more sole, this will be the time now where we start to see them, I reckon. Come on, tap one more time. Always away, it taps constantly, you put the camera on, then it just stops. Come on. I was got bitten by a sand flea as well. I never had that one before. Blooming thing. It's quite itchy actually. Come on, go again. I might just reel it anyway because that was going for quite a while. I was standing over talking to Oakley and that's been tap, tap, tap a ruin away. Should we reel it in, see if there's anything on it? Like I say, it has been going. So let's have a little look-see. Plugged into the sandbank. Come on, out you come. There we go, out of the sandbank. That feels quite light. Doesn't actually feel like there's much on there. Ain't that a shame? Well, there might be something still there. What are you? Another little tiny Bertie bass. When I say tiny, I mean tiny. These little bass are absolutely in plague proportions tonight. There he is, the culprit. Another little bass. Not a sole though. Still only got the one. Can't complain. That is target species acquired. However, I'd like to see another one. Get this unhooked. Let's get it back. And let's get baited up and get another rod out. Number two, look at that. Tiny little slipper, little slip. Gave a heck of a good bite though. That's why I didn't bother recording it. I thought it was another one of them little schooly bass. But that nailed that tip round and then it kept tapping afterwards. And there we have it, another little sole. Number two for the night. Is there gonna be more to come? Who knows? Look at that, eh? Beautiful little fish. Love them, absolutely love them. Yeah, I think it is hooked, whatever it is. I think we know what that is without even looking at it. Oh my goodness. It's a tail walking bass. Oh, that sea is absolutely alive with these tonight. That is insane. Right, get this one unhooked. Both rods are out of the water. Some more baits on. Let's see if we can get sole number three. Well, I wasn't expecting that. Look at her. Beautiful, perfect little butterfly race. She is absolutely stunning. Oh my word. Not the sole, but I'm happy with that. That is absolutely beautiful. I do love these little teabag rays. I'm gonna get her unhooked and get her straight back. Mwah, beautiful little fish. Well, we've got about an hour before high, and what a night's fishing it's been. I lost count of the amount of bass. Half of them I haven't even put on the camera because they were tiny, but then rod tips continuously keep going. Little baby buffon-back ray, which you just saw, absolutely beautiful little fish. Nice little bonus for the night, and of course 2 sole, which are the target. Hour before high, we're gonna fish it up to high and probably call it a night. But at the minute, the fishing's on fire. This is insane. No massive bonus fish, but the species are ticking up. And the amount of bass out there is absolutely unbelievable. Yes, they're all tiny, but it just goes to show you the stocks for the future are there. And those bass could well grow up one day to be big double figure fish. Who knows? Anyway, hour to go. I'd love one more sole. I really would. Am I being greedy? Maybe, but I really would want one more. That is what I really want. Do you reckon we can do it? Stick with me and find out. That right hand rod's gone slack again. It's been banging away. I just looked up and it was slack. Let's see what we got, if there is anything on here. Come on, out of that blooming sticky stuff. There we go. Oh, I don't feel like there's anything there, unfortunately. I think whatever it is may have shook itself off. That's a shame. Left hand rod's sitting absolutely perfect. Not getting terrorised by bass on that rod. What have I got? Have I got anything? Nil pois. That's a shame. Yeah, again, I don't know how I missed that. Oh, the night of missed slackliners, eh? And I got one. Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you sole number 3. Look at that, eh? I'm not showing you the bites or anything like that because I'm not really seeing them. I've seen a couple of taps on this rod and nothing else. So I reeled it in, expecting there to be nothing on there. And this little one was on there. Another little slip, small little fish, but that's sole number 3. Get in, target species achieved. I've got about 45 minutes to get one more. Shall we see if we can do it? So we see if we can make it 4 sole tonight. And now the right hand rod's tapping away. I would have said all these little baby birdies have disappeared, but that's got some taps on it. Now, if that's number 4, I'll be very happy. But we'll see. There we go, there's something there. I reckon whatever's on there is hooked. Just keep an eye on that left rod for me while I reel this in. That's not really doing much in regards to I don't even know if that's hooked, to be honest with you. It might be. I feel like there's a little bit of weight on it. Yeah, I think whatever's there could be there. Where are you? What are you? Who are you? Why are you? Nope. It's a roach-sized bass. Oh dear. Me and Oakley were just talking, saying it feels like the bass have gone off the feed because they completely stopped. We weren't getting bites or anything, but there you go. Obviously not. Not a sole. But tonight, that's probably about a bass 1 billion. Not that I'm complaining, but I do want one more sole. Thousands of them out there tonight, absolutely loads of them. Now correct me if I'm wrong, but is that a conger? It looks like a conger, smells like a conger. I don't think that is an anguilla. That's a conger. That is the first ever conger I've caught from the Suffolk coast. Wow. I weren't expecting that tonight. And that has trashed that rig, something chronic. Look at that. If I can get this hook out. I took both hooks, trashed the rig, but both hooks are in its lip. Now if I can get that unhooked, I want to get that. Look at that. That is my first ever conger eel from Suffolk. They're making their way up here. Look at that. Ha! Was not expecting that at all. Look at it. In all my years of fishing, I've never caught one of these from Suffolk. There's going to be some big ones about soon. They're getting more, you're seeing more caught in every now and then. All about this sort of size. However, that's another new species and a first for me in all my years of fishing this coast. Right, let's get it back. That's absolutely ruined the rig though. And that's it. Last cast done, last cast reeled in. It's high tide, nothing on that last cast. It's died off getting close to high tide, but what a session. Free sole, a form back race, so many bass that you wouldn't be able to count. I don't know how many I had, absolutely loads. And of course, the conger, which to me, a lot of you out there watching this are gonna be like, why is he getting so hyped up over a conger? Because around here, they are super rare. And that fish is the first ever one I've caught from Suffolk. And I'm happy with that. Absolutely fantastic. Anyway, you take care of yourselves. Like, hype the video, hit subscribe. You take care of yourselves, and I'll see you by the water very soon.